got a show here in a few minutes, right?
I know, I'm getting...
Okay, I see what you're doing.
Talking about line.
Okay, I got you. Wow, he must be talking about line.
Talking about line.
Ooh, I didn't know there were so many. Look at all this stuff. There's line everywhere. Oh my gosh.
Stop.
All right.
Go away. Go away, Randy.
Get ready for the show.
Get ready for the show.
Ian, you ready for the show?
No. I am not just ready. I am super excited for the show tonight.
Is your hair ready? I wish they all could be Ian Hurd.
Student of the week.
Here we go.
Are you going? Are we going? I guess we better go, right?
Better go.
Okay,
we got a
let's do
show to do, Randy.
Bye,
Let's do
Randy.
it. All right, let's do it.
Go to your office.
Woo, man! Look at all this stuff. And it's all for sale. Hey, fish tank. Oh, fish tank, let's go, people. Showtime. Okay, you see this place? This place here. It's the Cain Pole, the place you should be getting all of your bait and tackle. The latest in fishing technology. Lures, reels, rods, line, and of course, bait, crickets, shiners, goldfish, frozen bait, and worms of all kinds. Too much to mention it all. Check out the Cain Pole on Facebook, or come on by and let us show you how to catch more fish, because catching fish is fun. The Cain Pole in Southern Hills Plaza, Richmond, KY.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. Say nice. Nice. Monster. Look at that bad boy. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, look at that. Nice. Look at that. It's another show. Welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary, Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon, Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the show. We are running super fast today, and I don't even have my mic on. I'm not ready, but it's okay.
This is behind the scenes.
Hey, it's going to be okay, Randy. If you notice something, though, Randy, here's something you need to notice, right? Is that my co-host is currently not present, okay? And he's not present because, I mean, he is dealing with customers. We had a few customers come in late. They've been here for about 45 minutes, but he is taking care of them because they're going on a trip to Dale Hollow and wanted some advice, and we've talked about line. In fact, they've inspired our show a little bit tonight because we had a few other topics to talk about, but in our discussion about line, we got into a deep discussion about brands of line and what line we like to use and who likes to use what line. And I think that on a previous show, Ian and I did a little break test between K9 and Sunline because I'm a Sunline sniper guy. He's a K9 guy at the time. He changes line every week. All right, and he sat there, and if you notice, he broke the line, but what he didn't show everybody is that he was bleeding afterwards. He didn't want to admit that, but he was. So, hey guys, welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. I know that it's been about a month before our last show, and I want to say I apologize. We've had some regional basketball games. We've had some other just interruptions that happen, and it's trying to stay on our 2-week schedule. Just some things in life happen, and so we're just trying to we kind of took a momentary break to take care of those instead of like rushing in other guests and things like that. So thanks for being patient with us, but we are back and we're back on our normal schedule. And we are going to decide if we want to do a show next week and then get back on that 2-week rotation, or we're going to skip next week and get on the next one. But I do have some special guests lined up from the Kentucky State Parks, from the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. I've got some members from the Richmond Outdoor Committee that are going to come on, and some people that are helping there. One specific guest with Ed McDaniel, but I'll let him, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we are going to, in a couple of weeks, start our business series with some local owners. So I'm not going to go through. I'll kind of give that. I've got a list, and I'll work on that. But certainly, we have some local owners such as Purdy's, Surge, Snappy Tomato that are also love to fish. And I'm going to go out. We're going to do some GoPro footage and hopefully have a great day and talk a little bit about their business, and then have them on the show and air that. So excited about that. Super excited about that, I should say. But anyway, welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show, and thanks for tuning in and being patient with us. Ian should be here any minute, right? He's taking his time over there. Of course, if I was late, Randy, you know that he would be nonstop harassing me.
The show was going on regardless, man.
It happens. If it opens,
this morning, you're still in the
listen. If it happens, it did snow. How about that? I wore a t-shirt and shorts fishing yesterday afternoon in a tournament on Green River Lake, fishing Kentucky Bass Federation, and came back, and then I woke up in the morning and I literally had to use the remote start on my vehicle. Wow. And I heard Georgetown got a lot of snow, even more than us. How about that?
Crazy.
Nuts. So, well, Ian will be back soon, and we'll start our line. So here's what I'd like to do. We can take some comments tonight. And certainly, I want you to post anything commenting about line. I'll say this. We're going to talk about some other things as well. But to start off, so this is kind of get you thinking, what I like to do is, I know when people walk in this shop, somebody says, I like Red Label when you're talking about fluorocarbon. The next person likes InvisX, or they're going to say, I like Seaguar versus P-Line versus Sunline. Versus, Floor Shield, versus Vicious, versus Sniper, versus Tactical. I mean, there's brands, there's like models under each brand. You got Tatsu, you got ones that fished in Japan that we don't carry. Daiwa carries a fluorocarbon. So we have all these different fluorocarbons, but the three big ones, P-Line, Sunline, and Seaguar. So what I want to do is tell me a little bit about, and it doesn't have to be long, but why you fish fluorocarbon versus mono. Maybe you do it for different applications. Everybody's a little different. I'll tell you how I do it. And then, where do you use braid? That's another line. I didn't even bring braid out here because I really want to talk the difference between mono, copolymer, and fluorocarbon. We just got that question today, actually twice today, and I constantly kind of explain that it's really personal, but it's also based on the application of what you're trying to do. And some people will say it's better to throw one over another. And once again, it's what you're comfortable with. All right? If mentally in your head you think every time I'm going to throw this line it's going to break, then you probably shouldn't throw that line anymore. So I do think that there's some personal aspects to it, just like in all fishing anyway, with rods and reels and feel, and everybody feels different, But anyway, what I'd like to do is kind of post, and I'll have Randy read some of those. If you got questions about line, feel free to talk about that as well. And then we're going to do a couple giveaways, but certainly we'll continue on. So let's see. First off, I would normally go, hey, Ian, hey, man, how was your weekend? And he would go, it was good.
Fluff his hair.
And fluff his hair. And then I would say, well, good, can you elaborate a little more? And then he'd be like, well, let's see. I went fishing, and I went and got my boots, and I went to prom, and prom was a great time. I got all dressed up.
Student of the week.
Right? And I got my hair all conditioned, took care of it. And then, yeah, he did. He got student of the week at Madison Central. So Congratulations to him. Are you showing the picture now?
Yeah, right there. Look at him. Brandon
Awesome.
with the hair. Look.
Yep. Grub it. So, if you do notice, look who cut their hair. Nobody's
yes.
seen it.
You know, somebody commented on it.
So my hair is cut. It was actually shorter than this, right? Yeah. So anyway, it's cut. I finally had to go to the summer cut, man. It gets too hot on the lake. So, and then he would turn around and say, hey, Kent, so what's going on for your weekend? I'm going to say, well, it's been a month, right, since we've had this show. So let me tell you a little thing. First off, I want to give a shout out to John Webb and the tournament directors at the Trifecta Series on a record-setting opener for Trifecta Qualifier number 1. That was on Harrington Lake. That was a great tournament. There was 135 boats. I think one of those pictures, I think it might be a second picture, but one of those pictures is me and Kenny Harden. We were able to 11.95 pounds that day. We squeaked out and was able to score 12th. Two spots out of drawing a check, but we were able to get 12th. Either one, doesn't matter, they're both. So one of those pictures right there that you're showing, you're seeing, we caught those and was excited to catch some really good fish that day. So that was awesome to come in and have a great showing. We actually sponsored that first tournament, so it was prideful to me to be able to show up and at least catch some fish and get in the top 15, right, out of 135 for that. The second tournament we fished. So just so you know how the trifecta works, if you finish in the top 25 in any of the tournaments, you only have to fish 3 qualifiers out of the 5 to go to the Classic. So that was big for us because I know Kenny wants to fish a couple other events, and so for us to be able to get that in the first tournament, we know we've got some backup on some other tournaments. The second tournament was this past weekend. We were able to go down. We pre-fished on Friday. We caught some good fish. We had 8 or 9 pounds, but we were not on some big fish. We changed our strategy a little bit, and there's another picture. And although not as great as finish, we had 11.5 pounds that day and was able to score, was able to get in the top 20, 20th place actually. Can I say top 20 even though we got 20th place? I guess I can, right? We're still in the top 20 by like this much. So we got top 20, so that was awesome. Another great showing to be in the top 25. So.
Is this where you're looking down at your foot? Or did you
Okay, so there's a third picture with Brandon, okay? Not Kenny Harden that has the jersey on. There's a third picture I sent you, not the one, the picture. It's just me holding the 5 fish by myself.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay, that picture was actually yesterday at Green River Lake. Yep, so that was yesterday at Green River Lake. And a shout out to Mark Cooper and the team. They put on a great Tuesday series for the Kentucky Bass Federation. What a great way to take off on a Tuesday. No boat traffic, 22 boats, 21 boats. Fun event. Everybody's great down there. We had an awesome time. And so I went down there, hadn't pre-fished, nothing. Just totally went. Brandon was my co-angler, and we went and caught some fish, man. I wish I could have put him on more fish, but I was able to get, I think, 11. I'm in that 11 stage. That's 3 tournaments in a row I've caught in the 11s. All right, so that was 1150 something, I think, something like that. And I was actually wrong. I was incorrect. I think we had 13 pounds in that first tournament, and that's why. I think so. I think we had 13. So anyway, point is, Green River Lake, great job to them. So we had another. That was finished 7th. I think 15 pounds won that tournament. And by the way, the last trifecta, if you're asking questions, I'm not, and I will say this, I will say it as big as I can. I have not been a big Harrington Lake fan. I've never really fished it that well. I've been frustrated on it. I did win a couple of the NBT tournaments on it last year during the day. And so that was great. But I've never really liked fishing that. But it is producing fish. It is a factory right now. It took 21 pounds to win the tournament this past weekend. And even though we came in the top 20, I mean, there was 118 boats, right, with 11. But still, 21 pounds, man. That's a big sack. I think he had a 6.5, a 5.5, and a 4 pound spot.
What is
the
picture with you just looking down at your foot?
Okay, so Brandon was trying to take that picture, and I had these fish held up.
Drop a fish.
No, this is literally what it was. I was holding the picture up, and he took the picture, and I said, hey, did you take that vertical? I said, I need you to take it sideways, horizontal. So he flipped it around to take it horizontal, and when he did, right, the fish flopped out of my hand and fell down, and he took the picture, and so he said, so then he took another one, and I said, so you got it? He's like, yeah, I got it, and then that's what he had. He never got it. So that's me dropping fish, and then I yelled at him I didn't really yell at him, but then my fish was all dirty in the thing, so I had to clean off in the bag and try to take another picture. Anyway,
I love it.
it was good though. We had a great time fishing with Brandon. I've never fished with Brandon. I met him here as a customer, and let me tell you, man, he is.
Here comes Ian. I'm just going to put his picture up over where he's supposed to be. So now it's just Ian's picture.
Oh, there he is. Is this him right here? If I'm doing it, is he right here?
It's just him with Fritz. I cut Fritz out.
Is he? Awesome.
Howdy.
Hey, welcome. How are you?
Hey,
Good.
Ian.
Hey.
Thanks.
What I missed?
Thanks for finally joining us.
I was making you some money
Can you
currently.
imagine how much fun I love doing this show? Because this is, it's really live.
It's all because of me.
It's really live.
I just made you a couple $100.
Okay. I'm glad it's live on camera. Thanks.
Hey, I just made him a couple $100. That's why I was
Yeah,
like.
and all 200 of it is going right to inventory. Okay.
Ah,
So,
what were we talking about?
well,
What'd I
so
miss?
this is exactly what I just did, and I'm not going to repeat it because everybody was there. So here's what I'm going to say.
I wasn't, so repeat.
I went, hey, Ian, how are you doing? How was your weekend? And I said, good. I say, great. Can you elaborate a little more? Yes. I haven't been able to fish very much. I did go catfishing. And then, I went to prom and got student of the week. Great, Ian. That's so good. Kent, how was your weekend? Right? Sorry, I did say this. And I conditioned my hair for prom. And then I said, Ken, how was your weekend? So then I told him about all my tournaments and what was going on.
Did you tell him about me owing you dinner?
Oh, what?
Owing you dinner?
Yeah, he bet me for yesterday's tournament on the phone and said, if you catch over 10 pounds, I'll buy you dinner. If you catch less than 10 pounds, I won't. And you owe me dinner. And I caught 11.47. And you know what he said? I just did that. Even though I'll buy you dinner, I just did it to make you fish better. I was like, whatever. Hey, I don't know. Do you remember if my boat incident happened? Did we talk about it on the show?
No.
Yes. Are you talking about when you made the corner and you almost fell
Did a big,
The
yeah, we did
360?
talk about it. We did
Okay.
big, yeah, you did about big.
Well, let me just
360.
tell you how important it is to wear this right here. So
Did you do it again?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, right? This will never not be connected ever again when I'm driving my boat. Let me rest assured, and neither should you. All right? So it could happen very quickly, whether you're ready or not. Okay? All right. Hey, Ian.
Hey, Kent.
So
So,
a few times today,
yeah.
and multiple times, not just today, but it happens a lot.
Yeah, man.
People come in
Yeah.
and they want to talk about,
Line.
well, they stand over at the line wall. And when you look at like a Zoom wall, you can kind of go, okay, this is overwhelming, but then you can kind of start going, well, do you want a creature bait, a worm?
Yeah.
Okay. But when you stare at a line wall, it's really can be difficult
Yeah.
quickly.
And in a hurry.
And especially if you're somebody that's like I had somebody last week say, man, I haven't fished in 15 years. I used to tournament fish. I used to fish. Now I'm coming back in it, and it is overwhelmingly
Yeah.
different. And so I kind of asked the audience, I'm explaining to them, I asked them to just kind of give their feedback online.
Okay.
Why would they use mono versus copolymer? I didn't bring Braid out here, and we can talk about it, but I didn't bring it. I was really going to focus on mono, copolymer, fluoro, right? And just talk a little bit about why we use what, why wouldn't you use what? And once again, I know it's personal.
Yeah.
If you say, Kent, I broke off Seagar Red Label 15 times,
On
you're
2
probably
600s.
not going to use it, okay? Whether it's good line or not, you personally just don't have the confidence in that line.
Yeah.
So I've kind of asked them to do that. So I'm going to leave them there to do that for a minute.
Okay.
You think about some line stuff too. And in the meantime, what we want to do is I would like to highlight some of the products. But first, I'm really going to ask you, we haven't had this show in a month.
Yeah, man.
And I apologize. I said we had the Sweet 16. We had some games going on. We had all this happening.
Couldn't make it.
All right. And then I had some events going on that I need to be home with the kids. So with that being said, what's been going on the last month, man, besides Student of the Week, prom, right?
Busy.
Have we had a show since the state championship? I fished.
I don't think so.
Well, what was that? 3-4 weeks ago?
Yep.
I fished the SAS state championship out
Yep.
of Burnside.
Yep.
203 boats. I ended up doing decent in that, pretty good.
Yep.
I had 15 pounds and got 5th.
5th out of 203.
Yep, and
pretty good.
qualified for the national championship, which is on Hartwell.
Yeah, we know that was all Kenny Snowden. Yep. We know he put you on the fish.
That involved Kenny Snowden yelling at me for calling my decision stupid while we were running 65 mile an hour through rain, hail, sleet,
Yep.
and snow.
Hey, man. Sometimes it's
We were
really-
like the mailman, buddy. It didn't matter. We were going to get there and we were going to get our fish and we were going to get back, buddy.
Yeah. You didn't know the fish were there either.
No, because I actually, so we only got to pre-fish for 2 hours the day before because you had to be off the water by 4 o'clock. We didn't get down there till
Yep.
like 1:30, something like that. So we fished that spot for maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes the day before. I caught 2 short smallmouth, and I don't know, it just, I felt good about it, but we ran back up and we found some quality largemouth. We fished that spot for like 30 minutes, had 3 fish, 2 of them were over 4. I mean, we found quality.
You know, it's
largemouth.
amazing. You know, you say that. Robert Purdy and I won the Trooper Van Hook tournament like 3 years ago, and we pulled up on a couple spots. Happened to find that pattern early. I mean, that's kind of what you dream of, right?
Yeah.
To find that pattern early, and you're not searching for it all day. And you know, I mean, sometimes your bite's at 1 o'clock, sometimes at 11, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes you just find it a little late. But in this case, we found it pretty early, and we stayed on that pattern all day. And so I come walking in, and I remember walking into Dale Connor's. I was staying at their cabin that night, and I walked into Dale Connor's house, and we had won that Van Hook tournament with 18.68 pounds or something. And so it was a great bag of smallies, all smallies. And so we had a tournament the next day. Me and Ed did.
Didn't get a bite.
Right? And I walked in there and to the cabin, and I remember him, he set a stick down, he set something down and said, hey, listen, before you stay here, and he put a map down on the table, and he said, before you're allowed to sleep or stay here, you got to mark this map tomorrow. I said, I don't think so. Right? And so the next day, moral of the story is the next day, I went to the same spots.
And how many bites did you have?
Right? And I caught, the day before, we caught probably 9 or 10 fish. But all 9 or 10 fish were
Big Keeper Brown.
18 plus. Okay? The next day, I probably caught 40 fish.
How many
Right?
of them kept?
Like 2. Right? In the same spot.
Yep.
But here's what happened. They moved out. They moved out to the ledge. They were up on the flats, on the clay flats, and they had moved just outside, right on the edge, and I wasn't
Couldn't find the bait.
smart enough to come back
Yep.
and fish that edge, and that was my own fault, right? But they had backed off, and that's where they were sitting, and we were fishing too shallow, catching the small ones,
So,
right? So they can change in one day, is what I'm
and
saying.
I'll tell you this. So we went to our largemouth spot. I mean, we came out of the gate. We were hot. We had like
Yep.
6 spinner baits on the deck. Dude, we were ready to roll. I'm like, yep, we're going to go get about 18, 19, 20, 27, 24, 29 pounds real quick, and we're going to go win it. All right. So I was ready to roll, buddy. Like, I'm talking like 3 energy drinks, slept about an hour the night before, 2 cups of coffee. I was doing backflips on the
Speaking
front
of,
deck that
I know you're getting ready to say the story, but I got to say this. You know how Ian Hurt can be on the show. We're both pretty hyper, but this one is, I mean,
ADHD.
he is only 17, okay? So I've calmed down a little. Like this one, like,
He just ran.
okay? So this is what I want you to know. You go pick up Ian Hurd at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes earlier.
when he has 2 energy drinks,
2 cups of coffee.
2 cups of coffee on his way,
Like heart
and he
attack
hasn't
in a-
slept
heart
all
attack in
night.
a can.
Okay?
And kidney stones.
I've tried every tournament for the MBT, and we fished 8 of them last year and 2 already. And 10 tournaments in a row, I've asked everybody there if they'd be willing to take a junior co-angler. All right? And none of them say yes.
Hey, but let's say something. How many of them tournaments did we win?
We haven't
and
won
who,
some
who
tournaments.
were anglers of the year?
Yeah, that's true. We were Anglers of the Year last year, so we can't complain. Anyway, continue with your story, and then we're
All
going
right,
to talk
so
about some
basically
stuff.
I was ready to roll, buddy. We came up, we were like boat 1, 24, 25, 26, something like that. We were ready to roll.
Yeah.
We wanted to go catch about 16, 17, 18, 20, 27, 20, 30 pounds, big bag of largemouth.
Yeah.
Well, we put up that big largemouth spot, and about, I don't know, we didn't get a bite. About 10 o'clock rolled around, it started dumping the rain. I'm talking about big old fat, juicy drops. I mean, it was big, horrendous drops of rain. And they just weren't there. And I'm like, dude, we gotta go do something different. So I was like, let's run. And Kenny said, where do you want to run? And I was making a stroke way on down the lake compared to we were catching them up in White Oak, them largemouth, and they just weren't there. So we ran all the way down the lake, and we got about halfway down there, and Kenny asked, where you want to go? I said, let's keep going. We go down here and fish for brownfish, and Kenny stops the boat in the middle of the lake and said, you're stupid. There's no need to run down here with it raining like this. I said, just drive.
Let's drive.
That's my exact words, just drive.
Okay.
And I'll tell you when to stop. And we get down there, and the water has went from a beautiful kind of just stained, perfect for a spinnerbait color, to absolutely brown. And we got down there, and Kenny looks at me, he said, if you don't catch no fish, you're going to be swimming back to Burnside.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we went about 10 casts down that bank. Net, big old brown fish starts jumping and flopping. I was sitting there fighting the fish. I was turning. I said, what are you going to do about it, Kenny? They're here, Kenny. I mean, I was hot. We netted the fish. It just, I mean, we didn't get a bite till 11:30.
What do you think changed overnight?
So it rained a tremendous amount overnight.
Yep.
It pushed the muddy water way on down the lake.
Yep.
It was practice conditions. It was kind of like it is right now. Slight clouds, bluebird in spots. They were heavily shaded banks, and if you could get on the banks, you were catching them in practice.
So it bodes the question, right? Like, if it changes that quick, and like take Harrington, there was a cold front. I mean, there was a cold front last night, a little mini one. Not last night, the night before for sure, right? There was a little mini cold front. Came in, big bluebird skies, no clouds. A lot of guys didn't catch their fish until that wind started that was getting ready to come in, and it started about 1 o'clock. But tournament's over at 3, so you got 2 hours of wind, changes the whole bite, right? So it poses a question: why do we go pre-fish, right? When we think, right, that that we know it probably is going to change. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. And I'll tell you my reason is because, I know that ramp. If there was a lake that I didn't know, right, then pre-fishing is, I'm 100%. You want to go and figure out where ledges are, where grass pockets are, where flats are. So if you do get on a pattern, you're not sitting there going, well, I don't know anywhere else on the lake because I don't know where it is. So to go pre-fish and do that type of thing and learn where the ramp is and kind of get your bearings, I get all that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All that by Google Maps?
Not really.
I tell you what.
Not really. You can go,
Randy,
you can study. Mike Iaconelli will tell you, he will take a paper map, and if he's going to that lake, he will start that paper map 2 weeks before he goes.
Absolutely.
And he will take it, and he'll go to the bathroom with it. He'll go everywhere with
Google
it.
Google Earth is my best friend.
Right? And he'll look.
I'm on Google Earth before a tournament. I've been fishing Lake Cumberland.
Because you can see some shallow water on Google Earth, right?
I have a house on Lake Cumberland. I've been fishing Lake Cumberland
well,
since
your grandparents have a house.
I've been fishing Lake...
I like to think it's mine.
I like to think it's yours.
I pretend it's mine.
He said the other day, he's like, yep, this is my shop. I was like, really?
Close
Okay.
enough.
All right.
Continuing.
Yeah.
So, I'll own it one of these days, don't worry. So continuing, it'll be my shop. Called the Ian Pole. But okay. So, I've been fishing Lake Cumberland since I was 3 years old. I know the lake. I can tell you every pocket. I know it like the back of my hand. And
we're live TV, just so you know.
I still get on Google Earth.
Okay.
Every day.
That's good.
Nice. It is. It's good. It's great.
It's good.
Hey, you had to. Somebody said Asa Adams said he loves the purple shirt.
Yeah, of course.
Ace has got
He
3.
also says he fishes fluoro because it fits his style more. Power fishing, reaction baits, and flipping. He said if he can get away with the braid, but the water clarity does not always allow it.
That's right.
He fishes
Good
sniper,
point.
right?
Hey,
Or
speaking of Asa, since he likes to dog me a little bit, right? I mean, I tell you, when you let the shop owner, right? When you let the shop owner beat you in some tournaments, it's bad news, right? It's bad news.
Clarence
Right.
says fluorocarbon
Yeah, that's right.
is just the best all-around line.
Amen.
But I love our plan.
Yep, Plan.
Kenny Harden
P-line.
said you had 13 pounds the first tournament.
Yeah, that's right.
11.9.
Good old Kenny. Gosh, man, I'm going to tell you, we have the best time in the boat, right? I mean, there is, when you go and you like have to spend like from 4 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, and you're within 8 feet, 10 feet of a person all day, right? Like you've got to get along. What?
I remember that.
Kenny Harden said Vicious Pro Elite.
Yes, that's right. We have some.
Yeah.
We just got some in, and I didn't bring it up here, and I'm sorry.
Clarence said he couldn't believe that they didn't drown during that tournament. He said, I wouldn't take my kids down that far due to storms.
Oh, yeah, it was heavy raining.
Yeah, it was rough.
But you know what's interesting about that? It rained on one end of the lake, not
And
the
it-
other.
yeah.
All right, that's how big Cumberland.
It was rough though, Clarence.
So,
Seriously.
What lake was that?
It's
anyway.
Cumberland.
Is Cumberland?
Yeah, we
I
ran like
said-
40-something miles one way.
We have the best time on the boat. I didn't say that he's the best on the boat with me, Ian Hurd.
No, it's okay. No, it's
No,
okay.
that's fine.
No,
you
it's
know
fine.
what?
It's,
Go
it's
on.
really fine, Kent. You can call Kenny. He might fish NBT with you.
He can't.
He can be your designated junior.
No, he can't.
Are you talking about more line? What are you talking about?
So, anyway. Sensitive. He's
I
sensitive.
remember.
Hey, I do have a
So-
question. Wait a minute. This is totally...
Okay.
Okay, I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew it or not. I don't know if Ian saw it,
Yeah.
but I have a question.
Yeah.
I also do another show.
Correct.
Race
Yeah.
week, okay. So there's this guy with the winner last time. Did we ever figure out who was standing at the fence with the Cain pole hoodie on?
Oh, I don't know.
Did we ever figure this out?
I don't know.
At Richmond Raceway?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna zoom
Is there
in
a
on this-
picture?
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom
Can
in
I
on
see
this
it?
picture.
Well-
You have to go back in the show.
We'll have to go back and look
Can I
at it.
look real quick?
No.
It's
Not
probably
yet.
Trevor.
I don't know.
No, it's not Trevor.
It's a gray hoodie. It says Cain pole record. It's
Yeah.
a great ad. So I
Yeah,
just
it's great.
wanna know. So like, if anybody
No.
knows this guy, I said, you know.
No, I'll do it.
I was just
Yeah.
curious. Sorry. I digress.
No, it's okay. You're good. Hey, so before we talk in the line, let's talk about a few things really quick that we got in. First off, a shout out to our buddies Ronnie at Stick Jacket. Okay, they have launched 2 brand new. Listen, they've always had yellow, red, blue, black, purple spinning rod jackets, and then all the casting rods, because you got multiple, they came out with all these colors. Well, they finally launched the black crappie and the contusion colors in the spinning rod jackets. Right? So these just got launched. We have them in stock. They're here. Right? So the black
You know
crappie.
the colors that needs launched in the spinning sleeve?
What?
So I can match all 14 of my rods?
What's that?
The red and black checker.
Well,
I
I got red and black checker.
Not in spinning. I need 2 spinnings and I'll be set. Hey, you want to custom make me some?
Why do you want to make?
Because I
Why
want
do you
them all
want to make
to
them
match.
all the same?
Because
Why don't you make your crankbait rods one color and your spinning rods one color?
I'd have like 10 JWR colors and like 1 crankbait rod that belongs
So
to
I'm
you.
just saying, hey, Ronnie, thanks for getting these to me
Thanks,
quick.
man. Yeah.
All right, and we are, hopefully you're watching, but
He
these
normally
are, he normally does. So these are in stock right now, and we are back red and black, and black and blue checkers are back in for casting.
We've already
just
sold
so you
a
know.
bunch of red and black.
Okay,
So.
they're here. Here's something else. Our friend Gary Adams out of Cynthiana has been making some amazing spinnerbaits. We've sold a ton of them.
He makes the famous Goldilocks.
He makes the famous Goldilocks of your spinnerbait. But I know we talked about the Goldilocks, but I just wanted to highlight that we do have these. It's the banana head. This is the chartreuse double willow chartreuse with a white painted blade
This
with
is
a
your coleslaw.
chartreuse. All right, so you got white and chartreuse there.
Coleslaw
Hopefully you can see
here.
that. You see that okay, Randy? All right.
I just threw
So
mine.
you got that.
coleslaw. It's got
The
a silver
coleslaw
and a
color,
gold.
which actually, yep.
You want to buy it?
Like, do you understand this, Randy? Coleslaw. So carrots, lettuce.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Mayo.
Mayo. You got it right. You got it.
and they call it coleslaw.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Coleslaw.
Now,
Double O.
what's he calling these? Whitey whites? Whitey tighties?
Those are just white spinnerbaits, right? But one's got both have
Double
double
silver
willow
and silver and gold.
tandem. Yep.
Tandem.
Got it.
Big tandems.
So
All right.
those are in stock. We got a bunch of those. So
Let's talk about
check
this
those out.
beautiful thing.
$7.99 right here. Right?
This thing is beautiful.
Yes, they look great, right? So for those that are Z-Man fans,
Not even just Z-Man fans. Those who
I
are
know.
drop shot fans.
Yep. But
Buddy, this worm right here, that's bad news.
yeah. So this is the new what they call the long shot. I believe you have the hot snakes.
Yeah, the dirty Sanchez.
And this
color.
is the sprayed grass color.
Yeah,
Has a little purple in it.
It's bad news.
Right? It's almost layered. Right? So what a great looking drop shot worm. For those that go through worms, I mean, it floats. It's Lastec. Right? So we just got these in. They're the new Z-Man long shots in preparation for a little bit of drop shot season.
You
Man,
don't throw a drop shot, do you?
I don't, listen, I love throwing a drop shot.
you
but
never throw one, right?
It's, no, never. It's hard for me to switch off my worm, though, man. I'm telling you. It's going to take
Buddy,
me
I
to
threw
get
the
this back.
crap out of your worm at a certain lake here in Richmond, and they bit it.
I bet they did.
You've seen pictures.
I have.
They bit it good.
They did. Hey, man.
Man, I like
You
these
know what's
little
interesting?
whirly pearlies here.
Go ahead and talk about those.
So this
Oh,
is
screwed
the
that up.
slider whirly bee. This bait's been out for forever and a quarter.
Forever. Charlie Brewer slider.
Yeah.
Right? What a great little pond bait. It could be a great little
Big crappie bait.
big crop bait.
Hey, you get them in the bigger
And by the
size?
way, the crappie are hitting because we caught, I think, 4 of them at Green River.
Oh, Green River.
Really?
Yep, on the old Ned. All right, so when you're hitting the crappie, all right, there's a lot of crappie boats. So Green River's pretty hot. But yeah, so these are Dwayne May had asked for these, and so these are great
Yeah.
little baits to even fish on a wall if you're just out fishing or fishing a little small pocket. All right, there's something to be throwing other than, you know, because we've talked about it. Sometimes just a good old rooster tail, man, when you're not catching fish. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Works.
throw them down there right next to the dock. They want something small profile. It's great. Hey, the reason I brought those out is
Let's
because
hear
we
it.
just got them in, but the white bass, man. Right?
Will the white bass hit a hair jig?
Yes. All right. So they're hitting. They're up in the river. I think that this cold front
Buddy,
probably
the
put
old,
them a little bit.
the old
but
Dix River is on fire.
It is.
Are those spinnerbaits open or closed eye?
Open.
They are open.
Clarence wanted to know.
Oh, Clarence. Well, Clarence, I know you didn't, but that run was worth it that day.
Anyway, what would you use that for? Swim bait?
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. Calm down. Go.
I mean, it's just a classic hair jig. I'd take it. I mean, it's a little light. This one is, but what is this, quarter? Eighth? Yeah. It's a little light, but I mean, you can get the bigger. You can get the quarter and the 3/8. You get pull up on the ledge on old Pickwick, Kentucky Lake. You drop
Yeah,
that
I mean,
big.
I think it's light for that, right?
Yeah,
I think
this
these
is a
are
little
more
light.
like I'm going to drop it on the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I've seen some great old orange small.
I mean, if you're going to fish a Ned rig, right, on the wall, okay, why wouldn't you fish small hair jig, right? So
totally different doohickey though.
it's totally different, but I'm just saying. Who says you can't put a little small swim bait on there?
Who says you can't put a Ned rig on it?
You sure could, right? So there's all kinds of applications. Hey, while you're talking about line, these new moontail jigs, right? Tell us a little bit about how you would use them. Right?
I would definitely, I'd rig it under a loop knot. All my stuff like this, I mean, my tight lines, even some of my little swim baits, I always loop knot them. You get so much more action out of it. Like, it's just stupid, the action you get out of it. I'd probably fish this one where it's so light. I'd fish it on a spinning rod. I mean, classic 15-pound braid to a, I'd probably run under a 10-pound K9 leader. Or depending on how I'm fishing, if I'm on a ledge, I'm dropping it straight down and vertical jigging it. But if I'm on a wall, I'm probably just gonna fish it like a classic jig, shaky head type deal. I'm gonna make long casts down the wall and just pop it through the rocks and let a big small head. And just
Sometimes you got to fish for largemouth.
I don't like largemouth. It's
Okay.
hurt me, but it's helped me.
Okay.
I like browns, big brown
Well, I
ones.
mean, who doesn't like big brown fish? But still, tournament fishing is not always about big brown fish.
Buddy, I'm a hero zero.
Yeah, we know that for sure.
What's your favorite all line if you could only pick one?
K9.
Well, let's talk about line. Let's get there. Actually, one last thing. Hey guys,
me one.
so I have. You can't see it. It looks weird. That's why I have it.
No, that's cool.
So, as you know, there's been Bass Mafia came out with the money bags, all right, and we use a bunch of those. But I said, why can't I do this and do our own advertisement? So I did a bunch of research, worked with a bunch of some vendors and stuff, and I found this Ziploc bag. And what's great about it is it's folded over, it's stitched on both sides here, all right? Got a full zip, all right? And so, is it zip-locked? No, okay? But my thoughts is if it's gonna get wet, this is for stuff that's in a package, right? Already, so it's kind of like a package in a package. But it's got Team Cane Pole on the sides,
Nice.
all right? And it's only like $8.
Cool.
All right, and you can put all your jigs, you can put your plastics, you can do this. So I'm switching all mine, all right, to some new bags, and I've already had a lot of people get them, and they've said that they've held up great.
Or your sandwiches.
So, yep, sandwiches, whatever, right? They're awesome. So
cool, man.
definitely come check these out. $7.99. All right, here at the pole,
the holy poly.
the holy
buddy.
poly. All right, so
All right, let's get after it.
line. 'Cause we got
Lean.
about 20 minutes or so. Lean. String. Will you restring my pole?
Will you restring my
I get that a
my
lot.
pole?
Restring my pole.
Well, sure, buddy. What type of line would
All
you
right.
like? Can I get some 6-pound?
so I'm going to start with this, and then we'll take some questions, all right? And then you can chime in, okay? Because this is how I feel, and this is usually how I explain it.
All right.
There are pros and cons, okay,
Yes.
to every line,
Yep.
okay? Braid, copolymer, Fluoro, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
okay? If you look at the pros and cons of mono
Yep.
as a whole,
Yep.
all right, the pro would be that it stretches, which allows any nick or anything that might, so what I'm looking for, might
A brace.
right, change the strength or hurt the strength of the line. The line is still, because of the stretch, it still displaces over across the line. So it's not necessarily hitting like all the energy of when it stretches out is going to that point of where it's weak.
Correct.
Right? And so it gives it a more strength in that way.
Gotcha.
The other pro,
Okay.
right, that you could say is a pro, right, is that
Advantage. The other advantage.
is a float. It floats. Okay? Right? If it's a pro, right? It could be, depending on how you want to use it.
Depending on what you're doing.
Okay? That's the key. I want to make that clear. It depends on what you're doing if it's a pro or a con.
Yeah.
sometimes, okay? The other pro is the price.
Okay.
Okay? All right? $5.99.
Flip one of them over and I'll flip one of these over.
$5.99, $6.99, right? Sunline Natural, $7.99,
$24.99.
$5.99, for Pro Mix. No, that's fluorocarbon.
I know. I'm
We're
saying
talking
we're
about
saying price
right?
difference.
So it runs anywhere. It's $5.99 and $9.99
yeah.
for mono.
Yeah.
Okay, depending on what you want to get. And so I think those are the pros. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, I will say this: if you set the hook really, 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 really hard,
Really
right,
hard.
then it's probably more of a pro line for you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
All right?
That or
That's,
braid.
that's my opinion.
But if you like
right? Or
breaking
braid.
rods, I would
right.
go braid.
So that's A. Cons, right, are more around that it does float, right, in certain things, okay, that it's not fully clear, right, and that it does stretch. So it's funny is that some of the pros of the line, depending on your application, are also some of the cons, right? So most people want to go, let's skip copolymer for a minute and go straight to fluorocarbon.
Okay. Where you wanna
Fluorocarbon was made
Yeah.
so that there is less stretch. It still stretches,
Some, very little.
but it does. It's not like braid stretch. Okay? It doesn't stretch, right? So you get a quicker when you set the hook, right?
Yep.
It's got less memory,
Absolutely.
right? Where that is probably mono has high memory,
Con and a pro at the same
Okay.
time.
low memory, and right, it's crystal clear.
Yeah.
All right, you can't see it hardly. Right? That's why a lot of guys use it for leader line. All right. So the cons of fluorocarbon: expensive.
Yeah, very.
Okay, you're up in the $22 to $28 to $30 a spool.
Yeah.
Okay, depending on even more if you get Tatsu line or in that type of line. Then you've got the con is that because of the no stretch, if it gets nicked or it gets bent
Gone.
in your reel because you backlashed it or you've caught it in something, right? Or it gets rubbed against a stick, it truly does become a weak point in the line. And if you set that hard or it will break right there. Okay?
There's been plenty of times I've broke off in the reel, in the rod.
That's right. It happens, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to decide what advantage
Yeah.
you like. I'll say this, fish mono forever. I switched to fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
I hated fluorocarbon. I got rid of it all. And then I finally went back to fluorocarbon, and now I'm there again. Right? And
Tell me why. Why? So I assume since you're an old man, back when you started fishing, it was mono and mono
From a
only.
man that just got through yawning.
yeah,
Three
that's
times
true.
in a row.
Yeah, that's right. Keep
So
going.
you're an old man.
It's tough, man. I got here at 5:30 this morning. I just want to let you know that. But
I woke up at 5:30
Yeah,
this morning
okay,
for
good.
school.
Yeah, okay,
Cool,
good.
man.
Okay.
So since you're an old man, you can tell you got weak bones. Probably just broke your arm doing that. But
no, that's okay. I got fairy arms. I admit it. All right.
chicken legs.
It's okay. So keep going.
Pull it back down.
Keep going.
So
Hey,
continuing.
Bobby Cole Baker says you look great in purple.
Thank you, buddy. Keep going.
Okay, Bobby.
Floral.
Okay.
Floral and less topwater frog than braid.
Yeah, amen.
That comes from Sal Zangi.
Yeah, agree. 100%. 100%
Thanks,
agree.
Cole. Glad you
Go.
don't say I look
Anyway.
pretty. So back when you started fishing, I'm sure it was mono only. You're an old man, and I'd say
We got that already.
Yeah,
Keep
so
going. You've repeated
I'd
yourself.
say when I was
Just-
just getting the point past.
Lazy and hard.
So I'd say when you first went to Florida, you probably broke off a lot because you probably had to give it the big. Whip.
Actually, I didn't. When I first went to
Okay.
Fluoro, I backlashed it over and over and over, and I could not throw it. And I had so many problems with it, and that I
hung it
got
up?
frustrated, and I just hung it up and went back.
Okay.
And then I finally figured out that maybe I wasn't throwing it correctly, or, and so I went back, and now I will never go back to mono.
Why not? That's a lie. You throw mono some.
I don't
I've
throw
se-
anything on mono.
Last year I seen you throw mono 3 tournaments in a row with a Rico 10-pound mono.
That's not mono.
You told me it was mono.
It's not mono.
Okay. Okay.
It's not mono.
You lied to me.
I maybe did.
You did
You've
lie to
lied to
me.
me about a bunch of stuff.
I've lied to you plenty of times.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So you're not gonna throw mono on anything.
I don't throw mono, but I don't know, that's wrong or right. I'm just telling you I don't. Now, here's what I'll say. What, was it Sal that said that?
Yes.
So I think, okay, and people, here's the reason you use mono, what people have said. It floats, so use it for top water.
Yeah.
Because if you do pull it, then you don't actually going to jerk it out of the fish's mouth because it stretches, okay? That's an advantage maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what people say. But I know a lot of guys that fish braid
Yeah.
because it floats on their top water, right? Buzzbait floats, keeps it up, right? Frog, especially if you're going through grass and sticks and weeds
Absolutely.
and everything else, lily pads, everything that
Big
can
Jake
rip
Morris
up.
can tell you that one.
All right, I tell you, he fishes with braid, 100%. I know what braid uses. So,
But he breaks a lot of rods.
but he does. And so that's the thing, right? When you look at your rod and it says it's good for 8 to 16 pounds,
Mono or fluoro.
right? You can't put 40-pound braid on a 16-pound rod and expect
65-pound braid to go skip tops with a big frog and break 8 rods a
Harden
month.
says never throw mono.
That's right. I agree with him.
I do too.
Right? So,
Justin
but
Justin Lear says string mono for spinnerbaits, topwater.
okay.
Cigar and Vizex Fluoro for bottom. Sensitivity, Berkeley ×9 braid for frogging.
Yeah. Once again, so
Let me
here's
real
what-
quick. Let me say something about Invisex.
Okay.
Invisex is a great line. I fished Invisex. It's a great line, but when it comes to being what it is, it's way too soft. Because in my opinion, an Invisex has the abrasion resistance, whatever that big word is.
Abrasive.
Abrasive, that's the word.
Abrasive
Resistance of, say, the Abrasex, but when it comes to just being, I want to throw a jig on it and set the hook, it breaks too easy for what it is.
So I'll say this: my experience with Invisex, which we sell a ton of Invisex,
A whole lot of.
Okay, so let me clarify really quick. I think that line is so personal and what you're used to using that I'm not going to go through here and say, well, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's good, that's bad. I'm not telling you what line to throw. I can only give you what I feel.
It's like a personal
Right?
choice.
And it's a
What
personal
brand
choice.
shoes do you wear?
So, what?
What brand shoes do you wear?
New Balance.
Okay. I wear Nikes, I wear Under Armours.
Yeah, that's because you go brand name.
No,
but that's how you are.
No,
anyway,
what I'm
so
saying is
continue on.
Buying line
There-
is like buying shoes.
I don't have the money you have. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay? I don't have Nike and Under Armour money.
Let me
He
just.
does have a cabin on.
I know he owns a cabin on the lake. He owns the cane pole, and he has Under Armour and Nike money.
I also own
I mean, that's the way it is.
I-
Student of the week.
Student away.
I also own a TRX 20.
Yeah.
Purple.
Yeah, you
Triton,
own my boat too,
2019.
apparently.
It's got a
Yeah,
big 250.
yeah, that's fun.
Four
You
stroke
can
on
make
the back
all the
of it.
payments. That'd be beautiful.
Buddy, look, you get
Hey,
up.
listen.
You get up to about 6,200 RPMs, and you go around a corner.
can't get 6,200
You can do
RPMs.
300, 360s in it. Buddy, you can do 180s.
The motor's blown up if you get
420s.
6,200 RPMs.
You can do anything you want with it.
Anyway,
Sal says the good thing.
yeah,
The cane pole.
Yeah.
You shop there. They will hook you up and show you exactly what to do.
yeah, we try to show you what to do. But once again, you've got to go try it, right? Here's what I'm gonna say. I think Invisex, for me, I had bad luck with 12 pound and below. Okay? So 15 and 17 pound, right? I had better luck with it. Okay? But I didn't like it as a 10-pound line. So let's do this. Seaguar, P-line, Sunline. Those are the three big ones, okay? And Vicious. All right? We got Vicious, Elite. So you got Vicious, Seaguar, P-line, all right? Sunline. Those are four big ones that we sell. All right? But we do have Trilane. Trilane is a good one too. Trilane Fluorocarbon. That's another
Harden
one.
says 90% of the breakoffs happen at the knot.
That's right. Which, by the way, that's another show because there's some key ways to tie knots, right? And I think a lot of people don't understand.
Let's,
Right? But here's what I want to do. I didn't have a good experience with Red Label with this. I know a lot of people love Red Label.
I love Red
right?
Label.
Because
I
it's
do.
$15, right? And it's $15. Right? The price is there for
So,
fluorocarbon.
real
right?
quick, we've got
But
less visible underwater than monofilament, less absorbent than monofilament, exceptional knot strength and abrasion resistance. You've got exclusive 100% CR resins. That's on Red Label. That's $15.
yeah.
Then you got Invisex, soft and easy to cast. Like I said, it was too soft line for me.
Yeah.
It says strong and sensitive, less visible underwater than mono, like we're all saying, and then exclusive 100% fluorocarbon resin. Okay, sure. And then you've got to the big money, $25 a spool. Let's see, abrasion resistance. You got ideal when fishing rocks, docks, stumps. It's heavy. It's going to do it. And then it's got strong and sensitive, soft and castable.
And Sal said 15, 17 pounds, he uses cigar and sunlight.
That's right. Amen, man. I like the Sal guy. I'm on it.
Steve Parker, howdy from Frankfort.
Yep. Hey, Steve Parker.
Billy!
Hey, listen.
Okay.
Here's how I fish, right? You tell me what you would do.
Okay.
I'm going to say it. I use braid in 4 applications.
All right, let's hear them.
I use it fishing a frog.
Okay.
I use it fishing a buzzbait.
Okay.
I use it fishing an Alabama rig.
Yep.
And I use it fishing, well, 5 I should say. I use it fishing like if I'm using a jig in a bunch of lily pads, or I'm flipping a bunch of grass, or I'm fishing something that's like really harsh, heavy flipping, right? And then I use it on my spinning rod. That's the 5 places I use braid.
I use mine throwing a frog,
Yep.
throwing a rig, which I don't like doing, but I
Okay.
do. Throwing a buzzbait,
Yep.
throw it on my spinning rod,
Yep. And heavy flipping.
throwing a swim jig.
Oh yeah, I don't throw this one.
I said no to yellow label.
No
which
to
is
yellow
Invis-
label.
Invisex.
No yellow label.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Justin Lear said braid. Well, he's asking a question. Braid or fluoro
4.
for your Alabama rig?
Braid.
Braid.
But there's a
or
lot of guys that
braid
don't-
or copolymer.
Maybe.
Which it's the same thing. It's the same ordeal with the big swim baits. Braid or copolymer.
It depends, man.
It completely depends. I like throwing braid because I throw swim bait hooks that it'll bend right out.
You don't throw an A-rig.
I do too.
Okay.
5 casts a day.
Maybe.
In the A-rig season.
Maybe.
If I don't catch a smallmouth in the 5 casts, I'm putting it in the box.
Yes. That's why. You don't throw an A-rig.
No.
Anyway, I throw, I was throwing 65. I've been throwing 50-pound
50.
braid for my A-rig. I just tried it this year. I tried to go a little smaller.
real quick, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Master Braid,
Yeah, Cortland.
they sent us that braid.
I know.
I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
It is the smoothest casting,
Okay.
most sensitive,
Well,
strongest
he called.
braid I've
He
fished.
called, and I've got some stuff coming.
Good.
Right.
I love
So-
it. I absolutely,
Okay.
it's fantastic.
Great.
Christopher McMullen says Sunline all the way. He
Amen.
uses 25-pound cigar Abrix for
Abrasic.
Abrazex.
Abrasics for his large
Yeah.
swing baits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will say,
So it
here's
sounds like to me if you come in, talk to you fellows or gals,
right.
they can kind of direct you based on.
Yeah, but what, that's
on what
but
you're
that's a
fishing,
good
right?
opinion. So here's the thing about that swim bait, about 25 pound on the swim bait.
Oh, no,
if-
wait a minute. Sal says he likes the yellow label. Sorry,
Oh. So
I'm confused.
25-pound swim bait, right? What the advantage of that is, right, of throwing 25-pound is this. If you throw braid, here's a con. If you throw braid and you try to throw it really hard and you're in the 20, 30-pound,
There goes your $100
Right.
swim bait.
they're just want your $100 swim bait, right? Because what'll happen is it'll just, well, it locks up on
It'll
itself.
cinch down on
It'll
itself.
cinch
in
down
the reel.
itself in the reel and it'll stop. And that stops immediate. No stretch, wham, gone, right? So, but if you're in that 65-pound, fluorocarbon and 25-pound won't do that, okay? But you can't put it on a really small spooled reel.
Yeah, you're also getting
Okay.
like 3 cranks in it.
So you've got to get a reel that can handle
300 size
25-pound,
Corrado.
right? So anyway, that's for the big swim baits. That's why they're doing that, because braid is better, maybe. But it's going to lock up, and you're going to lose a $125 swim bait, and then you're going to be really upset. So
I can't tell you how many buzz baits
All right,
I've casted off.
that's
with 40
braid.
pound braid.
I use fluorocarbon on everything, including I need to ask this question
Okay.
because I don't understand. I have so many people tell me that they fish mono to crank with.
I
If
don't
mono
like that.
floats, why do you want to crank with mono?
When the whole point is trying to get your bait down.
So why wouldn't you fish with fluorocarbon that
Yep.
sinks? Now, I will tell you,
It's got give.
I fish 10-pound fluorocarbon to crank with. A lot of guys fish 12.
I
Right.
fish 12.
Okay? So I fish 10 because I do feel like I can get certain baits down there just a little bit further, right, on a smaller one. So if one fishing true 6 to 9, right, if I can get down there to 8 or 9, a true 8 to 9 feet,
Yeah.
right, even close, a little further than, because it's tested on 12.
Yeah.
So if I can get down there, then it makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
Yeah.
now throwing 10-pound sucks. Okay? I'm a sniper guy. Everything on my reels from fluorocarbon are sniper. I carry 10, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 to
What's
20.
your leader?
Right? Ooh, that's a good point. So I do only because my drop shot leader, I asked what line I was throwing. My drop shot leader is 10-pound Abrazex.
Okay.
Now, that's on a spinning rod, okay? But as far as casting, I throw 10-pound for crank, 12-pound for jerk bait,
14 for spinner
top
bait.
water, and then 14 if I'm throwing a big spinner bait, right? Because I can alternate 14 and 16, right, in my jigs and everything else, and then I go to 18 or 20 depending on a heavier jig flip bite. So that's where I'm at with that. But as far as the spinning rod, you're right. Now a lot of guys throw 10-pound braid on their spinning rod and 7-pound leader.
Too light for me.
I personally don't like it. And I'll
light
say
for me.
this, if I was fishing like open
Lake
grass,
St. Clair.
St. Clair, right? And the lake's clear, right? But I'm fishing an open area and I'm not fishing Cumberland on the rocks.
Yeah.
And I'm not fishing Harrington on the rocks. And I'm not fishing Laurel Lake on the rocks.
Let me
Things like
ask this
that.
real quick. How many drop shot weights have you lost in Harrington?
Oh, I don't know. I've lost a lot of baits in Harrington. I've lost a lot of baits in Laurel going up the river, so, but you've got, I think for braid, 15-pound braid with a 10-pound leader has helped me a lot, right? Fishing a Ned rig, drop shot, right? Things like that. But I don't know. Is anybody else saying anything, Randy? All right, I'm curious. I know this is a huge, this is what's, okay, so let's talk about copolymer for a minute. So now,
It says 10 pound for cranking, 8 pounds sometimes.
Ooh.
Most, Christopher McMillan says, he's using the Corrado 300.
Yep.
Perfect.
I know
And
Christopher.
then Sal says, most will only throw rattle traps certain times. I throw them all the time. Caught almost 8 pounds bass at Reba when most don't even throw.
Yep. It's a big spring bait there. So,
In my hands,
Let's
I
talk
have the
about
love
fir-
of my life.
I know
This
you
is
do.
my
So
baby.
explain copolymer really quick. So they've
Okay.
taken fluorocarbon and they've merged it with,
It's a
Mono.
monofilament line dipped or cast with a fluorocarbon outer coating,
right?
which gives you a copolymer.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Brian
So-
Elmore, which sunline?
Sniper.
FC, buddy.
That's what I throw, sniper.
So, when you get into the copolymer, you get into a couple of things. You have your P line, what's it called, Fluoro Shield, it's Fluoro Clear, and then you have your Berkeley Fluoro Shield. Your
P-line has a floor clear, right?
Your Berkeley has Fluoro Shield. Your Suffix makes an Advanced,
Yep.
and then there's one more besides this one, isn't there? What's that?
It's
Is that full- is
fluorocarbon,
that
honey.
full?
It says 100% fluorocarbon on the box.
Hey, this is 100% fluorocarbon. I told you that.
Thanks. Got that.
Sorry. So in my hand is one of the best lines and one of the worst lines I've ever fished, and I'll tell you why. Why are you shaking your head? I said it's one of the best and one of the worst.
Okay, keep going.
So this is K9 fishing. This is fantastic line for certain things, and it's awful for other. So I have exceptionally good luck out of 12, 15, and 17, or 12, 14, and 17. Sorry, I haven't broke off many on them at all. They're great lines. The knock strength is fantastic, and given where it's a copolymer, it has a whole lot of the monofilament varieties, and it also has fluorocarbon. Which, when you get to that, if you get a nick in it, it doesn't always just instant snap like say you give him.
But I can take 17 and go
I
all
can
day
take
long
17 and do it without
without
too.
bleeding.
I can do it without bleeding.
Yeah, no, you can't.
K9 was the one that made me bleed
Okay.
last time.
Yeah. Anyway, continue on.
You've got me off track. I'm done. Now.
Wow, this show turned into a line show.
So here's what I'll say. We sell a lot of K9. It's
I
not
love
a
it.
bad line, okay?
And it's cheap. You're getting 550 yards for $17.99.
You get what you pay for.
That's 5 football fields.
No, actually, we sell a lot of
Five.
K9. It is
And-
good line. Right? I'm not knocking it. It's not my thing. Right? I wasn't a big fan. But you understand, I love my sniper line, so I don't switch very easy.
It is
However,
what it is.
I will say, I did try this line, and I'm thoroughly impressed.
Are you?
The new Berkeley Floor Shield, where you get 300 yards for only $9. Okay, so that way you get 600 for 20. So
the hair
this is
more
actually yeah, but it's actually infused copolymer. It's not. It's a little bit different, and it's got like a coating on top of it.
Fluorocarbon coating.
No. It's got a whole different coating. In fact, I'm going to read it for you.
Hey,
All
John
right.
Elmore says, if you don't use mono, what type of line are you using at night? Fluorescent braid?
I am using Cain.
So that's a great question.
Cain makes a fluorescent just like this. It's the same line. It's just a chartreuse color, and
Right.
in the night it shows up fantastic.
All right, great. So
Now, what are you using?
Bob Shear says, look.
Sunline
mine
Sniper.
just comes down to a personal preference.
That's right. So Sunline Sniper also makes, right, a nighttime line called Sunline Night. Fluorescent. Okay? Not the other one. What's wrong with it?
Nothing's wrong with it, with the fluorescent.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
So here's a question. All right? He gets this look because here's what I'll explain. Fluorocarbon is meant to be clear, right?
Yeah.
It's not meant to be infused with like fluorescent, right, to make it. So Sunline came out with what they call the night line, right? And they infused it with just a little bit of blue fluorescent. And so when people took it out to go fish at night with, the problem is they want it to be as bright as Stren, which is not clear in the first place, or Trilene, which is not clear in the first place. So when the fluorescent hits it, it glows like a rope, right? Where that's what not fluorocarbon is not what's supposed to be. It's supposed to be clear. So when you put that in, right, it's not going to be as bright as Stren. So the complaints started coming in because it wasn't as bright, okay? But Sunline also makes a fluorescent yellow fluorocarbon, right? Which
That's the line that people have said they don't like.
no, it's not.
No,
It's the other one,
Okay.
right? The fluorescent yellow is what we sell the most of,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
When it comes to Sunline.
Yeah.
Night. So the Sunline Night has fluorescent now, right? Also, a lot of guys fish the Moonlight Braid at night.
So Sunline makes fluorescent line. Correct?
Sunline makes fluorocarbon, and they happen to make a night line that has.
Christopher McMillan was asking. Clarence Buster said Sunline's night line was fluorescent.
Because it doesn't glow, right? But here's the thing. People come in here and they say, I want black lights that light up the whole bank so I can fish fluorocarbon,
Yeah.
okay? And then the next guys come in and go, they're too bright. I want this so I can fish my night line, right? So once again, Bob Shear is absolutely correct in the fact it is so personal preference on the line. I mean, that line wall is like my most hated wall in this store for me because
I'll agree.
it's so hard. I can go to a crankbait and say, listen, I love this crankbait because it does this. Right. And I can go to the next crankbait and say, I like this crankbait because it does this.
Or I don't like because.
Right? But when you go to line, it depends on what size
Exactly.
reel you have. It depends on
What you're fishing for.
throwing like one guy said he throws 8-pound line, right? That is really hard to throw, right? Do you understand when I teach a beginner how to throw a bait caster, I'm putting them in 14 and 16-pound line because it's easier to throw and control.
Yeah.
You start throwing 10-pound line on a crankbait rod, it's difficult, right? Because you have to control it better. And so 8-pound is even more difficult.
Yeah.
Right? I would never put a beginner in something like
Absolutely
that.
not.
Justin says that Stren makes a fluorescent line that's 100% fluoro. It glows bright but very brittle.
Very okay. So there's a good question. There's a good thought. Does the fluorescent being injected in a line cause strength issues? Right?
According to him, it does.
You know? But here's the other thing. I've got guys that walk in and tell me they will never fish Red Label because it breaks all the time.
Yeah.
And the next guy walks in and goes, my favorite line never breaks on me is Red Label.
Sal says, I say y'all fish one-on-one. If Kent wins, he gets to cut his hair. Ian's never going to do that. You're out on that, Sal. We can't do that. What a loss to the community.
You act like I'm going to lose.
Hey,
You might. I'm going to cut your hair. You're going to let me do that.
gonna let
Are you
me
sure
cut
you want to do
your
this?
hair?
What
Ian.
lake? What
Ian.
lake?
No. That gets drawn. We have to do a poll, right? And that gets drawn. And we're not going to Lake Cumberland.
Ooh, Ian, I don't know. That's risky.
We're going to go to Lake
So
We Don't
many-
Fish.
So many factors there
Right?
that you can't control, Ian. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I won't advise you against that, just because I like it. It'd be a great loss to the county.
It'd regrow.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't even do it till last time. You won't do it. You say this all the time and then the threats go away.
We
Anyway.
Going for an hour.
Oh, 10 minutes.
I don't know,
Okay.
however you want to go. Midnight?
Well, do we have any more questions?
Hey, Kevin Van Winkle says 80-pound braid, and you can fish in the dark and have 80% less breakoffs.
Yeah. There you go.
That's thick line.
Is he?
No, it's not.
I'm not sure.
It's not crazy thick.
80 pound?
Sal
Man,
is
still-
really pushing the high and tight for Ian.
He wants to cut in the hair, dude.
Now
They're
we're
about
talking
done with it.
Ian versus Kent ultimate match fishing.
Let's go.
Would be epic.
You know where we're going?
Oh, he's same boat, different boat.
That's up to you. That's not really fair, I don't think. It had to be a different boat. Don't you think?
Steve Parker, yay, cut it.
Are we gonna put a cameraman in each boat?
Don't do it, Ian.
They're scared I'm gonna lose.
I don't think you're scared you're gonna lose. I think they're just scared you're gonna be upset.
Statistical analysis, like, what would you do? I mean, feel how lost you'd be. Like,
What do I get if I win?
Ooh, that's a good question.
shave
Keep your
Ian's
job?
Hair bald?
Keep your job.
A raise?
I could do the race.
Hey, Ed McDaniel says, tell Kent I need to restock my lures. He lost them all Saturday.
Oh, that's because he lost it in his neck. His buddy hooked him. I don't even know how he got hooked. I'm waiting for that story.
I
He
don't
texted.
know. I told him he needed to contact us and come on and tell
Hey Ed, I got your text by the way, and we'll talk tomorrow. I'll be at the store all day, so give me a shout. Hey,
Hey,
I think we've concluded that I'm gonna
It's
go
a
back
whole
to
different line
I'm gonna go to
show. This is
Bob.
like floats.
I'm gonna go to Bob Shearer still and say that it's all really digs down to personal preference, and I
Yeah.
think you ought to go try your line and see what you like, and then hey, and I will say this: you will get a bad spool of line.
absolutely. Every
I don't
company.
care what manufacturer it is, what line you got, you'll get a bad spool, and they'll replace it for you. Okay, so just know that bad spool exists.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna get one, and I can't help it because I don't know. They might
don't
have
test
something
it.
come in. Okay, so just realize it happens. Okay, so I got one big announcement. Okay. All right, and Steve Parker's on the line, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it out there because people are asking.
Does it involve something in Frankfort?
Okay, so the Cain Pole is opening a new store in Frankfort, Kentucky. We will be launching it hopefully within the month. We have finished our flooring. We have finished the bathroom. We have got new cases up there. We've got the kiosk. We've got bait fridges. We've got a bait tank, but we got to still do some plumbing. We've got to get. We've got all our pegs ordered. We've got the framing for all the pegboard up on the wall. We're going to start working on the fixtures here in a week. So there's still a lot of work to do. There's still some back stuff to do, but we are moving along really good. So Steve Parker up in Frankfort is going to be helping run pretty much the lead of that store. And so please, it's we'll send an address. We'll start getting some functionality. We've got our sign getting ready to go up too. And so we'll work on some more details about grand openings and things like that in the next couple of weeks once we get closer.
Road trip.
But certainly
Road trip.
we are excited about that. We know that Frankfort has a lot of opportunity with the Elkhorn, the river. We get a lot of people come down here to us, and so we're excited as Ian builds Legos with the line boxes.
I'm actually making a picture.
But anyway, oh, my name's Ian Hurd. I'm tired. Anyway, so we're very excited.
Super excited!
We are very excited.
Super. I need one super,
to-
Kent. I need one super.
We did it while you weren't
So
here.
is this the Cain Pole Deuce? What is this?
So it'll be Cain Pole, and then the new sign, it says Richmond KY, right? So,
Like, you know-
sorry, Frankfort KY.
I was gonna be
Right.
like, so,
So-
Marketing.
No,
I was gonna be like, is this
So-
like owning a houseboat where you
so-
put your hometown
it's
on it?
Cain
Or?
Pole, Frankfort KY on the sign. Its sign's already up there. We haven't put it up yet, but it's in the building. So I'll be up there all day Friday
Will they have their
working.
own?
So
You got me yawning, sorry. Will they have their own Facebook page and all that kind of stuff? Different? Or will it be- how's that going?
yeah, I'm not sure yet. We're working on a couple different things, right? So how to do
Steve
that?
Says, Sam needs to come up there and work with
Yep. Well,
you. Yep, well,
Steve wants to steal everything from here for the Frankfurt location. So, you know what?
Let him have it.
Let
He
him
can
have
have
it.
me too if he wants it.
I go on. So, hey guys, it's so good to be back.
Very.
I miss coming here on Wednesday nights and hanging out, and we will do some more specials. We're going to do some more shows.
the easy part.
It's going to be great, and thanks for tuning in. All right. And was that like a I let you down and then do it? So anyway, Ian's ready to go to bed. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you had a great show. Come in, check out our line. We've got all kinds of new stuff. And I want to say this, our floor in this back, part of that's Frankfurt, part of it's going on here. We're trying to go through stock as fast as possible, but we just had a phenomenal first part of 2021. I can't even say thank you to everybody that comes in this store, hangs out with us, buys stuff from us. We are doing everything we can. I apologize. There's so many manufacturers that are not shipping. There's so many people that are trying, and I'm fighting. I go to 4 distributors. I'm direct with a lot of them. I'm trying everything I can to get product in here. I've got a lot of it, and I've won in that category, but I'm still fighting trying to get stuff.
Everybody's having
And
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Go to Walmart and look
Okay.
at their fishing selection.
So, anyway, we are continuing to get live bait. That is great. We are loaded up, right? And I want to say thank you again for making this store what it is in Richmond. You're about to yawn again. And so, anyway, have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.
and let's go catch some fish.
Go catch some fish. Be safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Did I say next Wednesday? Yeah, let's do it next Wednesday. Why not? See ya. Get out of here. God,
go
quit
home.
hitting me.
I'll go home, go
to bed.
Night,
I mean, that's
guys.
what I'm saying.
Hey,
Night.
don't text me.
Hey, if you're on the big screen, look. Don't put your
Don't
hand.
touch me.
Get out of here.
Are we
Hey,
out yet?
what is this?
The best line on the planet.
It's not.
I love it.
Now we are.
Thanks for watching the Cain Pole Fishing Show. Visit the Cain Pole in Southern Hills Plaza or on Facebook. Thanks for watching and happy fishing. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub. Okay, you see this place? This place here. It's the Cain Pole, the place you should be getting all of your bait and tackle. The latest in fishing technology, lures, reels, rods, line, and of course, bait, crickets, shiners, goldfish, frozen bait, and worms of all kinds. Too much to mention it all. Check out the Cain Pole on Facebook, or come on by and let us show you how to catch more fish, because catching fish is fun. The Cain Pole in Southern Hills Plaza, Richmond, KY.